Hey everyone, it's Heather from Crossline Radio, and I wanted to come to you today with just a simple encouragement, kind of like a daily encouragement, so to speak. I was talking with a friend of mine recently, and she was telling me a testimony of hers. So it's actually her testimony. I'm not going to use her name just because I didn't, get permission from her for that. But I just I think in times like these, we have trials and difficulties, and there are so many times that when you're praying and you're talking to the Lord, you feel like your prayers aren't going past your nose. And when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Lord says that He raises up a standard against him. That standard would be the cross. The Lord has done everything for us, and He granted the comfort, the joy, the peace, His leading, everything that we could have need of, He granted for us when He went to the cross for us on our behalf. And I think a lot of times why Christians, and this wasn't what I was going to get into, but I think a lot of Christians, they fail and they struggle, and this is how kind of they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. Their walk is not a steady, plane. It's not. It's up and down, and their emotions. We live. A lot of times, people live by their feelings. And one thing, if I've learned anything about living for the Lord, is you can't go by your feelings. You've still got to get up. You still got to go to work. You still got to get on with life. Even when difficult things happen. When our daughter died a few years ago, it was amazing to me because my whole world, our world in our home, it stopped. Life was on pause, and when you look around, everybody else's kids are still growing up. Everybody else is going on with life. They're posting on social networks about their daily stuff. It's interesting. Our perspective on life can change so quickly based on whatever our circumstances are and what we're going through at the time. I just wanted to share a brief testimony. It's one of those things where when I heard this, it made me laugh a little. But it was a good testimony because it reminded me of how much God is in control. And this friend of mine said that she went to Chili's to eat. And she was having lunch with somebody, I guess. And when she got up to leave, this little kid had puked in the floor. He had thrown up. Nobody saw it. She slipped. She fell in the kid's puke. I thought this kind of thing only happens to me, right? Well, now I can say this happens to me and this friend. But, stuff happens to everybody. That's not the testimony. That's just the beginning of it. But so she slips, she falls in the kid's puke, wearing white pants. You can imagine how disgusting that would be. And because of that, Chili's decided, hey, we want you to go get checked out, make sure that you're okay. So Chili's insurance company wanted her to go to the doctor, get a checkup, get checked out, make sure she's okay, just to cover their butt. And so she did. She went. And when she went, the doctor that was giving her the checkup said, have you had a mammogram in a while? And she's like, no. And they told her about how it's been 2 years since she's had one. And they told her, how she could get one for free. And so she did. When she did, she found a lump. They found a lump in her breast. It was cancerous. And, she doesn't have insurance. So had they not offered the free mammogram, she wouldn't have gotten it done. Had she never slipped in Chili's and fallen and been encouraged to go to the doctor to get checked out, they never would have suggested that she get a mammogram. Come to find out, it was a cancerous tumor. They have removed it. she's fixing to be going through radiation. So I'm not going to give you her name, but I ask that you'll keep her in prayer, because I think that's a long, tiring road. But and then, this friend of mine has two kids that graduated at the same time, and she didn't know how she was going to pay for. She was pretty stressed because they're on a budget. They're not made of money, and she wasn't sure how she was going to pay for their graduation. And Chili's gave her a settlement of some money that she was able to use. It was a small settlement, but it paid for what she needed done, with the kids for their graduation. Moral of the story is this: He does all things well. Just because we don't see, I wouldn't, if I were God, which thank God I'm not, but if I were, I would have chosen to do something completely different for this friend of mine. I wouldn't have said, okay, I'm going to let her slip in some puke, be really thoroughly embarrassed in this restaurant, and this is going to lead to this, and this is going to lead to this, and had she never gone through any of that, she still would have a cancerous tumor in her breast. She wouldn't know it, and probably by the time it caused pain or sickness, it would have probably been too late. The alternative is, when you don't have something like that caught, you get to be with Jesus. That's a good thing. Bad thing about that is, obviously, that you don't get to see your kids get raised, and they've got to be raised without a mom, and that stuff's difficult. So God knows. So with whatever situation that you're going through, He knows. Whatever frustration and humility or, difficult or embarrassing situation like what happened to my friend, the Lord is in control, and He knows your pain. He knows your situation. And even though you can't see Him and sometimes you're not hearing from Him, it doesn't mean that He's not working. He is an all-knowing God. He's omniscient. It means He knows all things, and He is omnipresent. He is in every situation. I think the enemy is after our souls, and he is using everything that he can to discourage us. But I think what I choose to focus on is the fact that my God is in control, no matter what it is that I go through. And if I need a comforter, I don't run to a counselor, to a person. I run to my God, because He is the great counselor. He's called in Isaiah. He's called the Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting God, Prince of Peace. He's awesome, and He knows everything that we're going through. He knows every hair on our head, every tear that we've ever cried, and that should be a comfort. And I wanted to share that wonderful little story with you today, and let you know that He's with you. Have a great day.